Everybody's had a good afternoon. Enjoying the good air conditioning, I hope. Thank the Lord for air conditioning. I can remember when we didn't have it in our house many years ago. But I thank the Lord for the good air conditioning. All right, everyone, let's all get our hymn books, and we're going to stand on page 265 in the church hymnal, Love Lifted Me. 265, Love Lifted Me. Amen. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 6:30, we will be having our last class of the Bible Institute for this year. So everyone that can come, I know it's Memorial Day, but if you can come, we will have the service and the classes, and so I know that you can come. We'd appreciate it. All right, now we'll sing 114. I've never been sorry. 114. Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Revelation 4:11. Revelation 4:11. Thou art worthy, O Lord. Amen. Well, there you go. I know I don't want to talk. I talk too much sometimes.
You're all right.
Here's where I've been last week. And heard what I've heard last week.
Amen.
You got to share some of it.
Amen.
Now I tell you what, the Bible says, without holiness, no man shall see the Lord.
Right.
And I know that's a characteristic of us that we've lost. Most Christians have lost that about being holy. Who was it that said, Brother Eddie, without, what did he say? No holiness, no Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Fight on that one for a while.
Amen.
No holiness, no Holy Ghost. Well, I had to sort of sit back and think about that, brother.
Amen.
When we went through that ark, and we went through that creation thing, and I've seen what those people have put together, and to know that all of that actually happened, not a fairy tale. It blew my mind, Brother Freddie. The great God of heaven had done all that. And that ark, and all of that, it just, I think, what a great God to preserve mankind. Even though the world was full of anarchy and apostasy and all of that, yet God preserved eight people and brought it through. And of course, we know all the reproduction that came on in the world filled again with it. But yet, there was confusion even after that. I got a little booklet here on the 7 seeds of creation, the 7 seeds. I ain't going to give you that. I'll take that later, brother. Amen. That's great. That's great, brother. Ain't that great? The 7 seeds started off with creation and ended up with consummation. And we're headed that way. Brother Brent, consummation, brother. Revelation 4:11. Let's sing it. Thou art worthy, O Lord. Oh Stevens. Everybody knows who Brother J.C. Stevens, missionary to the Kentucky Mountains. And so we were actually close up to that area yesterday coming home. And we talked about Brother J.C. Stevens. But I do have a letter here that's very urgent that we all listen as we read this one. This letter is coming early as an update because so many of you have called asking about our upcoming surgery. And you encourage us with the assurance of the prayers for myself and for Sister Becky. Thank the Lord we have been able to get all, as best we know, print projects called up. We've been able to get repairs made to some of the print shop equipment, and we've got 40,000 of the little red Bible verse booklets printed, collated, and ready to be bound and trimmed. One of our supporting churches is planning a missions trip to help us with church, print shop, and grounds work during recovery time. This is such a special blessing, and I really don't know how to thank them sufficiently. God bless you folks. The update. The date of my surgery has been scheduled from June 3rd to June the 7th, but an aneurysm was discovered on an MRI and CT scan, which requires evaluation by a heart surgeon, and made it necessary to reschedule the pancreatic surgery again. It is now set for June 14th. We've already had 3 more appointments for doctors, anesthesia, pre-op, and labs. I don't know how many more may be required after I see the hot doctor. For that reason, we've had to postpone our spring revival with Brother Darrell Hayes. Brother Darrell is one of the most kindest, most considerate, and understanding individuals I know. His ministry and his friendship are precious to us, and we will miss the opportunity to spend time with him this spring. The Chief of Surgical Oncology at University of Kentucky Hospital in Lexington, Kentucky, Dr. Joseph Kim, will be doing pancreatic surgery. He advised us that it will probably be a couple of days in ICU, 6 to 8 days in the hospital, and that complete recovery should be for 1 to 3 months. The Lord willing, we'll be using recovery time to do a lot of reading, writing, computer typesetting, and lay out work on some books and other ministry-related publications. I'm sure some exercises will be a part of therapy, but no lifting for quite a while. Please know that in our next prayer letter is a little late on arriving. We have not forgotten our faithful friends and supporters. With much love in Christ, may the grace of God we continue to be yours in the Savior's service. Amen.
Well, please keep Brother J.C. in prayer. I don't know if you ever got to meet him or not. That's a precious man, been up there in the mountain country of Kentucky. And you'd think, well, that's not a mission field. Try living there. It's poverty. It's like you stepped into a third world country and you get some of them hollers back there. You people ain't got nothing. Those people back there that don't have power, electricity. It's a different world. We should know J.C. Stevens. So I have a bunch to tell you about tonight. Number one, I want to thank the Lord for the service this morning. It was rich. It was a good day. And I praise the Lord for that. And Brother Warren went to jail this afternoon, had 4 saved over there. Praise the Lord. He was Brother Bob, I believe, went with him, that right, Brother Bob, and had 4 precious souls saved. And that's a blessing, amen. Brother Charles keeps talking about our trip, and we did have a wonderful time. And I think it'd be good next year if we could get up a group, maybe a busload to go. Only problem is the church is small and it's tight, but we figured it out. Amen. The services are absolutely phenomenal, and then going to the track meet, that's just a big added blessing. That's a highlight of my trip, actually. And then being able to see that Creation Museum and the Ark. I'll tell you what made the Ark so good for me. Of course, a lot of that here, a lot of criticism. That money could have been spent on this. Yeah, it could. But thank God for somebody. I don't know how many people have come to trust the Lord when they can visualize and see, hey, that was possible. That was possible. I'm sure everything that he's done in there is not in the Bible. But man, what a mind to figure out how all that, it shows how they got rid of the waste from the animals, how they got fresh water, and it just blows your mind, man. And you see that thing, it could have actually worked. Amen. And then I won't go into all the details, but he talks about the animals and how they brought them in by their kind. By their kind. And then several came from that lake, you know what I'm saying? So it's just mind-blowing, man, to see what a God we serve, amen? And to look at that ark and how that could have been built like that all them years ago, it's unreal. You picture a boat until you walk up to that thing, but it's humongous. It's pretty neat. So that'd be good if we could all, a bunch of us, get together and be able to do that next year, and we just hope to run that place. Amen. I was telling Brother Charles, I got tickled. I ain't really making fun. I guess that's the way I am. The first time me and Sister Angie went to the ark, that thing was built in part, and not just in part, but a lot by Amish carpenters. And you can tell, Brother Freddie, just the craftsmanship in that thing, the timbers and all. But so every time you go, there's a lot of Amish people there to see the ark. And where you get your tickets, you have to get on the bus and then ride out to the ark. So we was on the bus with bus load of Amish people. Bunch of them teenagers. Every one of them boys had bowl cuts. Y'all know what a bowl cut is? That's where they put the bowl on their head and cut around it. They had homemade shirts, homemade pants. The girls had on homemade dresses. And every one of them was wearing Nikes and Reeboks. I thought, man, he just defeated the whole purpose. What's up with that? Everything else is they call it plain. I guess Jordans are plain. I don't know. I just thought that's funny. Anyway, bunch going on. Youth camp's coming up. We still got some kids that need support. But the gospel, he presents that gospel all the way through that time. He presents the gospel, and of course you had to hear that last little theater scene that we talked about, that Noah interview and all that. Amen. He's right, man. The gospel is through that thing from the beginning to the end, right? Every bit of it to point you to the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Hold on. Youth camp. Still got some kids need to sponsor. $125 pay for their whole week. If you can sponsor a kid, let Brother Jesse know. Vacation Bible School's coming up. Food. If anybody can donate money for the food or buy Hawaiian punch drinks, it would be greatly appreciated. So let Miss Vanessa or Miss Irene know if you can do that. Wednesday night there will be a BBS teachers and workers meeting, mandatory after church Wednesday night. Don't forget about that. Our graduating class of 2019. If you are a senior or you have a senior that is a member of our church, please be sure to get in touch with Miss Stacy English and let her know so we can get you the Bible and plan for our cap and gown ceremony later in June. So don't forget about that. And let's see what else. No gym this week. Stay out of the gym. They're decorating for Bible school. Our bus ministry is in much need of some more volunteers to do bus breakfast. So if you can do that, please see Brother Jeremiah and let him know, okay? All right, let's have our youth choir. Come on, let's sing. in which place it is in Ohio. I think up in anyway, they have a box in the back. And if you want to give an offering, and you would not believe money that church takes in. I told that preacher, I said, man, if we didn't stick it in front of their face, we wouldn't be able to pay for you. Sometimes I stick it in front of your face and hold it there. Amen. Anyway, we'll take up the offering in a minute, so I forgot. Listen, while everybody got quiet down, listen to the preacher boys, pay attention. Brother Corey Lee goes to the nursing home every week and preaches. He needs some help. Somebody go over there and preach. That is good training. That is good training. That's one of the first places I started preaching when I was a young preacher, was in a nursing home. And it's a blessing. It really is. It's a blessing. So, man, if you can go and be a part of that, you let Brother Corey know. You want to preach? How many of you want to preach? Say amen. Talk to me. All right, y'all will be lined up. Ready to talk to him if you really want to preach. Amen. Amen. You find out who wants to preach. Amen. Amen. Well, Brother Corey, you've been expecting a line after church and signing up. Amen. Brother Mike preached over Victory this morning. They said he done a good job. Well, he said he did a good job. I don't know. I didn't hear it from nobody else. Mike said he did awesome. Amen. No, I'm kidding. He said he had good liberty to preach. Amen. And I praise the Lord for that. Let's worship the Lord tonight. Go ahead.
it was a blessing because me personally, I never really I was scared to do it, to be honest. I was scared of like, I don't know. So I went up to a lot of people today, and they were like, they just nicely like decline it, or they would say, oh yeah, I'll come visit your church. And it was just a blessing to be able to do that with these girls, and the Lord for saving me. And give me as a family to raise up in church and just
Praise the Lord.
thank God as they did to me.
Thank God.
Born in heaven, want to meet me to love, want to love me. I can't understand. I see others more worthy of Jesus than me. Yet you love me as small as I am.
Good singing, kids. Y'all just hang loose right there. Let's have the ushers. Me and y'all come and we'll receive this evening's offering. Listen, won't you be much in prayer for Brother Chris? Brother Chris will be preaching the funeral for Brother Terry Leggett on Tuesday at 2 o'clock at Vincent's. And Brother Chris and I have been praying for months about Terry. We weren't sure whether or not he was saved. And Brother Chris, just the day before he died, or a couple of days before he died, had the opportunity to lead Terry Leggett to the Lord. That's a thrill to my soul up there. Known Terry about all my life, and he just one of them Paulding County good old boys, and that's if you want to describe him. That's who he was, and thought the world far of him. He'd do anything in the world for you. But boy, now I'm glad I'll get to see him in glory. Amen. But y'all be praying for Brother Chris as he has that funeral. Listen, I want you to pray for Mitch. You know, Brother Mitch sitting right back there. Brother Mitch had a long talk with me, and he's been praying for Mitch for a long time that he'd get back where God wanted. Seems like the Lord doing that, and doing the work in his life, in his home. And his boss called him out of the blue. They move him about every 2 years. He's got to move to Huntsville, Alabama. We need to pray for that boss. And the Lord just changed his mind. Amen. Amen. But you pray for Mitch. God just have his will in his life. And I know that in a church like this in Huntsville, I just know to him. But let's pray there is. The Lord is leading him in the right direction. Amen. So let's bow our heads all over the house. We'll ask the Lord to bless our offering tonight. Put John in prayer.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to be in your house. Lord, you are great. You are mighty. You are holy. You are awesome. Lord, you're a mighty God. I thank you that you hear our prayer. I thank you, Lord, that you know my name. I thank you for saving my soul, Lord. God, I pray that you watch over us this night. Be with Brother Ed as he stands to bring the message. Be with this offering and bless it, Lord, and use it for your glory. Be with the youth group next week. Lord, I pray that you would stir those hearts. I pray, Lord, that you would let somebody hear the message that Jesus is there as a God who's paved the way for them to go to heaven. Be with Mitch, Lord, and his family, and pray that you would help them be able to stay here. And Lord, be with the Lega family as they prepare their loved one home. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen.
Somebody's hand comes good singing church. going to do something a little bit different tonight. No problem. Go ahead and preach. And we'll have some good invitation ready. If you would take the Bible and turn to James chapter number 3. James chapter number 3. That's good singing tonight, kids. And as small as I am, turn me up or anything. That's one of my all-time favorite songs. As small as I am. I never get over the fact that Jesus loves me. The old song says, Jesus loves me, Jesus loves me. Amen. That ought to blow your mind that Jesus loves you. This is going to sound unspiritual, but I really don't think it is, and you'd have to have a pastor's heart and mind to understand it. But I didn't have them sing a special for a reason. Sometimes before you can do something from the Bible, it's very practical and not real preachy. It's hard to do that after the singing's been way, way, way up here. So I stopped the singing so I could talk to you for a minute. Try to give you something from the Word of God tonight that I hope will be a help to you and a blessing. If you understand that, say amen. Our services we have, my goodness. I just preached this morning because I felt like I ought to. Before I ever preached, it was good. We could have left and said we had a great service. Brother Mark done some preaching, son. And Sister, Yang, there she is right there. Sarah, good night, man. I know women ain't supposed to preach, but that's good preaching this morning. And that's awesome right there. Amen. I'm just poking fun at her. She wasn't preaching, but she was just talking about the goodness of God. And man, we could have had an invitation right there after she got done. But anyway, I just felt we'd hold back on the singing a little bit tonight and try to give you something very practical from the Word of God. If you'll listen to me tonight, you learn something to change your life. Whether you're young or whether you're old. In James chapter number 3, is everybody there? I'm going to read a few verses of Scripture starting in verse number 13. When you're there, say amen. Do me a favor, put your phones away. Just put them up. Just put it on airplane mode. No, don't even do that. Just cut it off. You don't need it right now. Unless you're an EMT or something you might get called away. Cut that thing off. Let's just cut it off and let's look at the Bible for a minute tonight and try to, maybe this will be some preventative maintenance for some folks. Amen. But I guarantee you there's some other folks that's sitting around that's going to say, he's exactly right. You better listen. Amen. James chapter number 3, verse number 13. The Bible said, who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his work with meekness and wisdom. But if you have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, and devilish. Oh, that's pretty descriptive, isn't it? Let's back up and look at verse 14 again. He's talking about wisdom. In wisdom, we're talking about decision making. He said, but if you have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, and devilish. For where envying and strife is, there is, say the word with me, confusion. Now watch this. And every, say the next two words, evil work. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruit, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. There is a contrast in our text tonight of two different types of wisdom or decision making, if you will. There is a earthly kind of wisdom.
and then there is a godly kind of wisdom. The Bible said wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get what? Wisdom. Are y'all all right? I love it when the Bible compares evil or earthly with spiritual or godly. It's always such a contrast. They're totally opposite of one another. Would you agree? When we read about in Galatians the fruits of the Spirit, you read those things. And man, for every fruit of the flesh, the fruit of the Spirit has a totally and complete opposite of the fruits of the flesh. Am I right?
Yeah.
In this room tonight, especially among our adults, young people, listen to me. And by young people, I mean 30 and below. Every adult in this room, I would say, is probably living with a decision that they have made in the past. Say that again. Every one of us are probably living with a bad decision that we've made in the past. There are people in this room who have been divorced. I'm saying amen right there. It's okay. I'm not against you. I'm for you. But a lot of people in this room have been through the bitter thing of divorce. That's a horrible thing. It'll leave scars on your life forever and ever, and on the lives of your children. A lot of people have been through that because of one bad decision in their life. Young people, I thought about graduation. I don't know how many we've got graduating this year, but man, it's time that you start making decisions on your own. You say, thank God I'm free. No, you ain't. You've been free for the last 12 years of your life. Freedom is over. You've had somebody make your meals, make your decisions. You've had somebody do it all for you, and now you're at a spot where you're going to have to start spreading your little wings a little bit, standing on your own two spiritual feet. You better learn how to get some godly wisdom and make good decisions in your life. Oh, I wish I could stand here and tell you I've never made a bad decision.
Right.
I'm 54, and if I'm not careful, I still make them today. You ever stop and ask yourself, why did I do that? You make decisions every day of your life. I went to Taco Bell. I'm trying to eat healthy. Hallelujah. I went to Taco Bell. Hey, they said don't eat hot dogs. That's what caused my foot to hurt, so I went and got a taco. Amen. It's a good thing they don't make hot dog tacos. I'd have one of them. Hey, that's the fault. Amen. But I said, no. I thought that about fish tacos, so I tried one. That's pretty good. Anyway, I stood there at Taco Bell. I walked in. I figured it was after the church crowd. Of course, our church is different than most crowds. I guess the church crowd was done gone. But I walked in. I was the only person in the place. I walked in before I could even get up to the counter. They said, what, can I help you, sir? Do you know what you want? I said, I ain't got a clue. I stood there staring at that big bright sign. You know what I had to do? I had to make a decision. Yeah. It wasn't life-changing, but it was a decision. We make decisions every day of our life. Some good ones and some bad ones. Amen. We've all made bad choices. Every one of us. A lot of us made some bad choices when we were young. Yes, when we were young. There is a law of sowing and reaping. Yes, I put some things in my body when I was young. I did some things with my body when I was young. Bad decision. I allowed my eyes to see some things when I was young. I allowed my ears to hear some things when I was young. Man, if y'all don't think worldly music is powerful, you got another thing coming. I can hear one of them little songs walking through a store or the mall, and buddy, it's stuck in my head for 2 days. Can I get a witness? Somebody? Some of y'all just too spiritual, ain't you? It does. It bothers me. It gets in my head, and I can't hear it up. I ain't talking about songs, I'm talking about bad songs. I'm talking about Back in Black. I'm talking about bad songs. I'm talking about AC/DC, jump like that, gets in my head, but it's bad. Some bad decisions we've made. There's things I allowed my eyes to see that at times the devil just bring that stuff up and I can see it. And you'll pay for those decisions your entire life. I'm going to give you just some practical advice tonight, if it's all right. It won't be real preachy, but I need you to listen. Hey, some of y'all take make some decisions that's going to change the entire course of your life. Some decisions are reversible. Some decisions you make and you can get out of it, and the Lord will allow it. Some He don't. Some decisions you make are big decisions and you're stuck with them till you die. So it'd be wise to get them right the first time. Young people, look at me for a second. Wouldn't it be good if you chose the right mate to begin with? Wouldn't it be good if you didn't date around and get your heart broke 15 dozen times before you found the right one? Wouldn't it be good if you just got on the altar and asked God to lead you in the right direction? And you pray and you even fast, if you will, for God to send the right person in your life at the right time, and you make that one commitment one time forever. Wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be wonderful. Matter of fact, that'd be ideal. You said, preacher, that's not possible. Look up in here, would you? How many of you have been married one time and that's it? Look around. That's the majority of the married folks. You can't do it. Again, I ain't beating up nobody's divorce. I just want you kids to know, you young people know, you can get it right the first time. Career choice, ministry choice. I talk to young people all the time, here, across the country, and they pray, preacher, pray that I find the Lord's will for my life. I'm going to give you just some thoughts from the Scripture tonight about making those kind of decisions. Where you'll go, what you'll do. Some of you, I don't think you ever ought to go out in the public. I mean, right now you have to. But I think you ought to dedicate your life to serving God. Some of you. Well, I didn't get enough help right there. Amen. I think you'll just dedicate your life. Say, I'm going to be a man of God. I'm going to be a missionary. Whatever the case may be. Make that decision. Man, I wish I'd have started earlier. I started pastoring when I was 28 years old, brother Charles. Well, I wish I'd have surrendered to that thing a long time before. Amen. Of course, they probably never would have voted me in, but Charles had hard enough time with me being 28, I think. He was very gracious in those days. Amen. I want us to look at our Scripture tonight. I'm going to ask you some questions. This is some questions you can ask yourself. Write these down if you would. When you begin to make a decision, I don't care. I'm not just talking to young people tonight. I'm still old enough to make a bad decision. I've been seeking God's face for 2 years seriously about what to do about this. I didn't answer it. I don't know. I just still ain't got a clue. I got some ideas. Brother Fred's got some ideas. Brother Warren's got some ideas. We all got ideas. But I'm not after ideas. I'm after the will of God. Amen. Verse 17. Look at the first part of verse 17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure. And I'm going to stop right there. There's wisdom that is from above. First question, ask yourself. Is this opportunity from God? Is this opportunity? God opens doors. God opens windows. I got a whole message on open doors and open windows. God opens doors and God opens windows. I got news for you. God shuts doors. God shuts windows. That's another message. But listen, is this opportunity, this decision that you have to make, is it from God? Is she from God? Is he from God? Is the career from God? is this decision from God. Here's our problem. We often have an idea.
Come on, brother.
I'm full of ideas. When I was younger, I was really full of ideas. I come up with some crazy stuff. Sometimes we have an idea, and based on that idea, we make a choice. Now, y'all stay with me tonight. I ain't preaching, I'm just talking to you. We have an idea, and based on that idea, Micaiah, we make a choice. And here's what we're prone to do. We ask God to bless the choice we've already made.
Yeah, preach, brother. Come on. Yes, we do, sir.
Guilty. Here's what I do. Oh boy, I got an idea. My. Let me see if I can find a verse of scripture and back it up. What I'm doing is I'm inviting God into my mistake.
Right? Come on.
I'm inviting God to jump in overboard with me. Because I didn't seek Him first. In essence, I don't want to admit it, but God, I've made a bad decision. Would you bless it? You've got a decision to make. Number one, is this decision or this opportunity, is it from God? Somebody said one idea from God is worth a college education. For us to hear from God, the lines of communication must be open. I'm afraid the Lord gets a lot of credit for stuff He had nothing to do with. I've said it 1,000 times. I've had people come in my office, young man, young woman, preacher, what do you think? We want to get married. I don't think y'all do. Well, we already set a date. What are you talking to me for? I didn't say you shouldn't marry her or you shouldn't marry him. I just say y'all ain't ready. Well, we've already set a date. We done got a venue. Let her rip.
Amen.
You already made your decision, and now you're asking God to bless that decision. You better have an open line of communication. Let me ask you something. Is God able to stop you? I'm going to say that again. Just let it sink in. Is God able to stop you? I don't mean by force. I mean by that small, still voice. Hey, it's not a good idea. It's too soon. You're too impatient. You're not ready. Are you able to listen to that? You're going to have a clear line of communication with the Lord.
Right.
My wife, for her birthday or Christmas, I forgot what it was, we got her one of these Apple watches. I got one, to be honest with you, but she got one of those Apple watches. And she can talk on hers whether or not she's got her phone. Y'all know what I'm talking about? She can leave her phone at home. And she talks on that watch all the time. I hate it. It looks like James Bond. It works good for her job, but when she's talking on that watch, I can't understand what she's saying. And I keep saying, what? She said, what are you getting mad about? I can't understand you. Transfer me to the phone. Amen. Sometimes I'm afraid we're trying to talk to God on the secondary advice. I'm telling you, we better be able to hear the voice of God. In other words, sin must be confessed. Man, when you get them big decision places in your life, you better make sure everything's right between you and God, right between you and everybody you know. Hey, what your life depends on.
Preach on, brother. Amen.
The devil is a master at convincing you.
Amen.
Oh, this has to be of God. I had a young preacher come to me one time. I'm being careful right here. Maybe I'll just leave that alone. No, a young preacher came to me and said, I believe the Lord wants me to pastor this church. Not listening, but a church. I said, no. He said, oh yeah. I said, oh no. He said, well, the Lord's already showed me. I said, well, okay. He's divorced me. You say because he took that church? No, that decision making started way before he took that church. I knew he had never pastored married to the woman he was married to. Not quite. Mom said you better get that right the first time. Preacher boys. It ain't every gal out there that can be a preacher's wife. And I ain't talking about one of them that can run a women's group, teach a Sunday school class, and do all. I ain't talking about one of them women that's in charge of everything. I'm talking about one that can be faithful to you.
Amen.
Put up with the junk that you're going to deal with forever. Better get that decision right first. I'm glad God blesses the ignorant and the dumb. Because He gave me the one I needed without me knowing it. God's looking for some visionaries to put His ideas in. God's looking for some young men and some young ladies, even some older folks, that He can say, hey, I've got an idea. Now, boy, when the idea comes from God, and not me, it's a big difference. Number one question, is this opportunity from God? Or have I got an idea and have I already made a choice and am I just asking God to bless what I've already decided? Amen. I hope you're getting some help tonight. Question number 2. Write these down. Is any part of my decision unscriptural? I'm trying to tell you how to make good decisions. Is any part of my decision unscriptural? Again, verse 17, he said that wisdom that is from above is first pure, peaceable, gentle, easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. Go to Psalms chapter number 12. Don't lose James. Psalms chapter number 12. Y'all doing okay? I know we shouted the roof off this morning, but we're just going to back her down just a little bit tonight. Psalms chapter number 12. Verse number 6. Some of you know this verse. The words of the Lord are pure words. As silver tried in the furnace of earth, purified 7 times, thou shalt keep them, O Lord. Thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. Listen to me carefully. Is any part of your decision unscriptural? Had a man come in my office, listen to me. Had a man, let me back that up. I got it wrong. Start with. Had a lady come in my office. It's been a long time ago, so don't worry about who it was. Had a lady come in my office. Here's what she said, talking to me and my wife. She said, I want you to pray for me. She said, because I'm praying about leaving my husband. You're going to have a hard time getting God on board with that. I said, well, is he... Now listen, I'm not one of them guys that says you married and you stay there no matter what. Right. If you're in danger, if your children's in danger, get out. Get out, get out, get out. Call them all. Y'all all right? I said, well, what's going on? Well, he's just this and this and this. I said, is he a whole lot different than he was when you married him? Well, no.
All right. Yeah, preach right there.
You're going to have a hard time getting God on board with that. What I'm saying is any part of your decision unscriptural. I don't really know what to shout about. Is there Bible for your decision? I'll be honest with you, most of the major moves and major things in my life, the Lord's given me a verse. Now, He didn't give me a verse, which number to order at Taco Bell today. I'm not that hyper spiritual, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about big things. Amen. The Lord's given me a verse. He gave me a verse about moving in this building. Once the Lord helped me about the decision of this building, I never looked back. Amen. I never second guessed myself. There were days, I don't know how we're still here. God did. We had 30 families in this church out of work at the same time. I'm talking about our best givers. It was bad. I was riding around town looking for a place where we could have service because I doubted God. I doubted what God told me in that decision that He helped me make. Is any part of your decision unscriptural? Illustration. Brother Eddie, I really believe the Lord wants me to marry this guy. He's not saved, but I believe I can change him. Is that scriptural? It's not scriptural. We're not supposed to be unequally yoked, believers and unbelievers. Well, he's a believer, he's a Catholic, unequally yoked. Unscriptural decision. Girls, I don't care how sweet he may seem, you don't change people. 9 times out of 10, 9 3/4 times out of 10, we've seen it over and over. Brother Charles tell you, Brother Freddie will tell you, it goes the other way.
Amen.
The saved doesn't ever, rarely change the unsaved. The unsaved brings the saved down. Almost every time. Why? You're going against the Word of God. It just don't work. Well, number 3. Are y'all ready? Let me just say this back on scriptural. God will never lead you away from Him. Ever. God will never lead you away from Him. Some of those decisions you make as teenagers when you find yourself alone with your boyfriend or girlfriend, God will never lead you away from Him.
Yes, sir.
Ever.
Amen.
Well, we know we're going to get married. Yeah? What's that got to do with the price of eggs and change? Well, we know we're going to get married anyway. Wait. Why? Unscriptural. That's called fornication. God will never lead you away from Him. I don't know how y'all feeling, but I'm feeling pretty good about this. Number 3. Is this decision attached to confusion or discord? Is this decision attached to confusion or discord? Give you some time to write that down. Is this decision attached to confusion or discord? Is this decision attached to confusion or discord? It is never God's will for you to make decisions that cause discord. It is never God's will for you to make decisions that cause discord. What is discord? Disunity. Strife. I've seen churches started out of and God won't bless them until dies.
Amen.
I can take you around this county. I can show them to you. They're the same size today as the day they were. They splitted 20 years ago and tried to birth a church out of It won't work. God's not in that. Are y'all still okay? Psalms 133. Don't lose James. Psalms 133. Y'all got some big decisions ahead of you, young folks. Some of you adults do. The Bible said in Psalms 133 and verse number 1, how good, or behold, how good and how pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. How many of you would agree? Look at me. How many of you would agree that God's doing a wonderful thing right here? I preach in churches all over this country.
Amen.
Me and Brother Charles, Miss Janice, and my wife, we was in a good meeting this week. There's no doubt about it. It wasn't this morning. It wasn't like it was this morning. There was liberty, but not like there was here this morning. There's something special about this place and what God's doing. We're seeing people saved like a lot of churches don't see people saved. You know what will tear that up? Somebody driving a wedge between me and my youth pastor. Somebody trying to pit Brother Jesse against me or pit me against Brother Jesse. He can get a wedge drove right there. He can blow this whole thing apart.
Amen.
He won't drive a wedge between me and somebody when it comes on Sunday morning. He's going to do it with Jesse or Charles or Brother Frederick or Brother Warren or Brother Thomas. Are y'all listening to me? He get us at odds with each other, this thing's over. All it takes is one. Would you allow God to use you? How would you like to be standing at the judgment seat of Christ?
Come on.
And the Lord said, you remember how I was moving in your midst? Back in 2017, 18, and 19? You caused me to stop. For that I have somewhat against you. You hindered my spirit because you made a decision out of discord and bitterness.
Amen.
Serious business. It's almost like playing with hand grenades right there. Y'all still okay? Don't lose James. Back up to the book of Ephesians. I'm just giving you Bible tonight. Ephesians chapter number 4. Ephesians chapter number 4. Ephesians chapter number 4. Say amen when you get there. Look at verse number 3. He said, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Let me tell you something. It's a job to keep unity in a place like this. Now, if we were a church of just a bunch of old people, and I love old people, I'm fastly becoming one. If we were a church that nobody ever got saved, and it was just our four and no more, you wouldn't have trouble keeping unity. Because the devil don't bother a church like that. As long as them buses are rolling, them bus kids are getting saved, them prisoners are getting saved, and that youth group's on fire, and God's doing a big deal and a big work in this place, as long as that lady's home is thriving, and them women are standing up and testifying like Sarah did this morning, I'm telling you, the devil's going to fight!
Yes, he will. Right.
He can't drag us off into hell, but I'll tell you what he can do. He can cause us to cause a bunch of them to go.
Amen.
By causing us to hate one another's guts. All okay? Let me tell you something. I'm going to be real honest with you. I've got some great ideas. Brother Todd, I do. I got some great ideas about being able to stay on this piece of property right here. I've got some great ideas. Brother Freddie's got some great drawings. Me and him are on the same page. We've got some great ideas. I'm for it. I got some great ideas about moving.
Amen.
I do. I'm open. I'm open. But listen to me. If God, stay with me just a minute. I want you to understand this fully, what I'm about to say. If God showed me tomorrow exactly what we were supposed to do, I'm going to stop there. And tomorrow afternoon, I know the bell don't run tomorrow, but this is illustrated. And if tomorrow afternoon, Brother Stacy came by here and checked the mail and called me and said, Brother Eddie, you've got an envelope here that's addressed to you. It says open immediately. I think you need to come open this letter. And I came and opened that letter. There was a check in that letter big enough to cover the idea that God gave me. In other words, if God gave me a $10 million idea of what we're supposed to do, and then sent me the $10 million to do it, and the majority of you are against it, let's be honest with you, I'd wait. I'd pray and I'd seek God. What good would it be for me to do? What good would it be for me to go and do without you? What good would it be for me to have a great big beautiful building without y'all in it?
Amen, brother.
I believe God filled it with somebody else. I wouldn't want to do it without you. We've come this far together. Well, I don't want the will of God to mess us up. Amen. Sometimes husband and wife have to wait on one another.
That's right.
I've seen husbands get right with God and get on fire for God, but she ain't there yet. And he's going home and preaching the devil out of her. And bless God, you're going to do this. Hey, whoa. Wait on her. Wait on her. Give her a little time. She remember the weaker vessel. Give her a little time. Just because you're right with God, don't forsake the love of your life.
Amen.
You are the second love of my life. Okay? Is this choice, this decision attached to confusion or discord? What's the use of going forward if we don't go together? Sometimes, sometimes, I know some of y'all are bored to death.
Come on.
Sometimes opposition could be your best ally.
Right. Yeah.
Ain't no telling what kind of mess we'd be in today if it wasn't for that man right there and that man right there.
Amen.
There have been days in the past where they were, whoa, Richard. Reel it in a little bit. I mean, boy, back in the day, 20 years ago, son, I was wide open, didn't have a brain in my head. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go borrow $10 million. Let's beat up some shit. Thank God for some godly men. Sometimes opposition is good for you. Cause you to stop and think. Cause you to check your decision, make your kids look up here. Sometimes your parents aren't opposing you because they're against you. Sometimes your parents are opposing you because they're for you. Just because they oppose you don't make them your enemy. Just because they keep you in check, they go, whoa, wait a minute now. I don't think that's the right girl. Wait a minute. Let's pray about this. Oh, mama! Wait a minute. Better thank God for her. Maybe you just don't understand. more than you think. Maybe they've walked where you've walked and they've made the bad decisions that they're trying to keep you from making that'll affect your life forever. Sometimes opposition is your ally, not your enemy. Matter of fact, I don't know a single parent in our church that are against what's best for their children. I don't know one. I don't know. I've never had a parent come to me and say, "Boy, I hope my kids wreck their life. I hope my kids make the same dumb mistakes that I've made." Not one have I ever heard say that. They're not your enemy. They're your ally. I had no idea. I had no idea my mother was on my side when I was a teenager. When I was 16 running around that black doodle bug, she was telling me, "You don't need to run around with him because of what he does." Well, I don't have to do what he does. And I didn't, but everybody thought I did. Hey, I didn't do near the drugs people thought I did. Because I hung out with a bunch of people that don't. I never did drugs. I never did. Never did a pill to me. It was that stuff in that bottle that got hold of me. Just being honest. I thought Mama was trying to keep me from having a good time. I thought she was trying to run my life and stick her nose in my business. She had my back. You see, God knew what His will for my life was. And I could have destroyed this then. And if I destroyed this then, I would have never knew this existed. There's something in that right there if you listen to it. I would have never known. Well, I'll give you the rest of these right quick. Number 4. Is your decision going to be a burden to somebody else? Is this decision going to be a burden to somebody else? Girls, look up here. Is this decision going to be something that my mom and daddy's going to have to raise?
Right there for a while.
Is it okay to be that blunt? I'm your ally. I got your back. Too many moms and dads are raising children that are not theirs. That's not God's will. Well, I'm just going to quit my job and move in with our parents for a little while. I'm quitting my job because everybody down there cusses. It's going to be a burden for somebody else. Who's going to pay your bill while you're looking for one? I'll leave that alone. Number 5. Number 5. Is this something, or is this decision that I've made because of what I want? Is this decision I've made because of what I want? Is this decision I've made because of something I want? How many of you tried to manipulate the will of God? Let me ask you again, how many of you have tried to manipulate the will of God? I love it, so it must be God's will. It's the desire of my heart. He said He'd give me the desires of my heart, so it must be God's will. I cannot see a 1969 Camaro and not want it. I'm to the point now I still love them, but I'm cool if I never have one. I enjoy looking at them. I do. It's just a beautiful thing, man. I cannot, especially in the sunshine. I pull up in the gas station and somebody's sitting there in a brand new bass boat that's got glitter from top to bottom. it does something in my eyes. It's like it puts me in a trance. It don't mean it's God's will I go get it. Y'all okay? Did I tell you to go to Hebrews 13? Hebrews chapter number 13. I'm about done. I'm about done. I cut the singing short, so I'm taking my time now. Hebrews chapter number 13. Say amen when you're there. You're just backing up from James a little bit. Look at verse number 5. Let your conversation be without what? Oh, that's a hard one for me. What's the next statement? And be content with such things as Does that mean I'm not supposed to ever better myself? No! It means you're not supposed to drive yourself batty with what you're not supposed to have.
Amen. Come on. Right.
I drove myself crazy trying to figure out a way to get me a brand new Harley Davidson for 40 years back a few years ago. You know what happened? The Lord, I wrecked one. That helped. That it wasn't even mine. Thank God we are the motorcycles got hurt. Neither one of us not scratched. But anyway, the Lord finally said, there's nothing wrong with Harley Davidson. You just can't have one. When He made that thing clear to me, you know what would have been good? If I'd have asked Him to start with it.
Right.
I didn't. I just thought, Lord, I know you want me to have that. Oh, you. Makes loud noises. Amen. When the Lord made that thing clear, I was good. I hadn't that problem with it. I still love Him. I don't think I pass a bike in the parking lot, I'm gonna stop and look at it. A lot of times it's an opportunity to witness, man. I see a guy at the gas station, boy, that's a good looking bike. How long you had? You know, and it just makes conversation. You go to church and work, you know. I still love them. I'll still ride one if you buy it. But the Lord told me I can't have one. Probably because I'll get killed. Amen. Well, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as you have, for He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. Well, is that number 5? Number 6. I'm just going to give you these last two. You can write it down. Will this decision allow me to bear more of the fruit of the Spirit? Will this decision allow me to bear more of the fruit of the Spirit? Will this decision make me a better Christian? Will this decision draw me closer to Him? If I commit my life to this person from now on, is she going to draw me closer to God or pull me away? Is He going to draw me closer to God or pull me away from God? If I hang out with this guy or that guy, is he going to pull me closer to God or pull me away? Simple questions tonight about making decisions in your life. Lastly, y'all got that one wrote down? Number 7. Number 7. Will this decision, or is this decision going to hinder me from serving God? Is this decision going to hinder me from serving God? Verse number 18 of James chapter 3 said, "In the fruit of the righteous is sown in peace of them that make peace." Is this decision going to hinder me? There have been a lot of decisions I've made over the years that kept me from doing what I ought to do. Don't get all over up there. Simple little 7-point outline. But that thing's bigger than the wave. Listen to me. Pastor can't always make your decisions for you. Mom and Daddy can't always be there to make your decisions for you. Lot messed up when he had to separate from Abraham. He wasn't spiritual enough to make a decision. That's why he chose Sodom. It cost him everything. Literally everything. Lord, help me to make good decisions. Give me wisdom. Give me that. You know what he said? If you'd ask it, he'd give it to you literally. If you'd ask it. Young people, you need wisdom right now as much as you'll ever need it in your life. Let's stand up, people. Let's talk with y'all come. I guess if I hadn't titled that tonight, I'd just call it Making Choices and Living with Them. Because we make choices and then we live with them. Every one of us. We mind the Lord.
The
without you holding my hand. I thought I was done, but I need to say one more thing that I feel like I left out tonight. It'd be bad to leave some of you hanging who are living with a bad decision. There is grace. There is grace. God can take one of the nastiest, worst mistakes of your life and turn that thing around if you'll surrender to Him. Maybe He's waiting on you to say, Lord, I messed up. I realize I did this without you. And God, if there's any way that you can help me, oh, you'd be amazed at what God would do. I just didn't want to leave you hanging if you're living with a bad decision. He can turn that thing around. I don't mean get you out of it. He might make it good. Remember what Joseph told his brethren? He said, you meant it to me for evil, but God meant it unto good. It didn't look like that for a long time, though, Fred. Long time between that pit and the palace. Long time. You'd be amazed what God can do if you just surrender to His will. Amen. Well, it's been a good day. Well, I hope that helps somebody tonight. I know I'd rather just run back and preach and shout, but sometimes we need to back her down a little bit. Let the Lord speak to our hearts. Amen. Hey, would y'all please pray for Miss Shelley's dad up in Michigan? Her stepmom has set a point now. She's not eating or drinking. She's just laying there. He's having a hard time. I hope the rapture comes before we have to do that kind of stuff. I do. I don't know. I just don't know. It had to be the grace of God. But he's a good man. Good man. He's a friend of this church. Loves this church. Y'all please just lift him up and pray. Amen. Ain't no doubt she's saved. No doubt about that. It don't matter how saved they are. Don't make it easy. Don't make it easy to watch somebody you love suffer. Toughest thing you'll ever do, I imagine. So y'all please remember that if you would. Hope you have a wonderful week. Amen. Let's bow our heads and we'll be dismissed. Thank you. Thank you for being in church. Brother Mitch, why don't you pray and dismiss us tonight?
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord God, we want to thank you for your message tonight.